You reach the goal that everyone thinks they want to achieve. And should you actually retire once you hit that point? I've been so blessed financially over the last decade to have built a multi-million-dollar property portfolio. To give you an overview of where I sit today in 2026, my portfolio sits around $12.5 million in terms of residential real estate, and that's expanding another $1 million in the commercial space as we buy an office at the end of 2026 for the team at Purpose Property. But I'm actually planning on selling one of my deals this year, which will lower the portfolio to around that $10.5 million mark. I also have 4 builds on the go at the moment. So I'm building 2 houses which are granny flats and 2 houses which are strata titled developments over the next 6 to 12 months, which will then increase the portfolio back to around $13 million in terms of residential real estate. If you look at the debt and the equity position in my current life and current portfolio, I'm sitting on a net worth of around $5 million. With significant cash flow, the portfolio would bring in around $500,000 gross income before you take out expenses like interest rates, insurance, maintenance, property management, and the list goes on. Now, the reality is, if I was to sell down more assets, I would be able to retire today. I could sell one of the assets, park more money in the offset account, and just do nothing with the rest of the portfolio and hold a larger asset base for a longer period of time and essentially retire from work if I wanted to. And this is the dream that so many property investors want to achieve. So many people think that once they reach that goal, once they hit that number of $2 million in net worth, $4 million in net worth, $10 million in net worth, that everything will be fixed, that life will be sorted, and that the worries will disappear on the monetary side. Now, don't get me wrong, having a car, having a roof over your head, being able to afford bills is super important. And I think that is what I'm wanting to achieve out of financial freedom. I'm wanting to be able to cover my lifestyle expenses in terms of a base rate. And for me, that's something like $60,000 a year, $5,000 a month in terms of living expenses. Of course, you can have lifestyle inflation occur and you can rent a $2,500 a week apartment on the Gold Coast and live on the bay or the beach. And of course, you can have a car that's $300,000, not $30,000. But if you followed my channel for any period of time over the last 5 years, for me, retiring or creating financial freedom is not about those success items in a Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, which is what everyone wants at the moment, the GT3 RS, and having the $3,000 a week home. And I may do that down the track. I may rent a property that's far more expensive because you get better value for money. And that's a topic for another day. But as it stands today, I could technically retire, and I've honestly thought about it. I've genuinely thought, could I shut down the buyer's agency? We've got 10, 11 staff. Do I close it down? Do I stop making YouTube videos? But then the question is, what do you do? And what do you do with your time? I saw a great video recently with Alex Hormozy talking with Tony Robbins, and Hormozy is far more successful than most people running businesses are in this generation. Doing hundreds of millions of dollars worth of sales and looking to grow to $1 billion company and so on. But at some point, the money doesn't move your day-to-day life. You continue to go to the gym, you continue to play football with your football team, you go to church. We go to church every Sunday. It doesn't change if I have $1,000 in the bank account or $1 million in the bank account. But what does change is those choices about how you then make an impact. You move from just surviving or getting into that financial independence stage, and then you think about making impact or doing things that bring you purpose. Now, when I started the company Purpose Property with my wife Emily 6 years ago, or 5 years ago, formally, Purpose Property meant that every property should have a purpose, and building a property portfolio should help you live out your purpose. I didn't personally want to become super property obsessed, but you almost have to get to a significant portfolio in a short period of time. You have to have that work ethic and almost obsession, to be perfectly honest. And now I've reached the goal of financial freedom, it's more about impact for me with other people. And so my question to you is, if you did reach that financial independence goal, what would change in your day-to-day life? That's what I really want to know. What would change between what you're doing right now and what you'd rather be doing if you did hit that financial independence stage? Because the question always goes is, are you done? Are you tapped out? Do you hate what you do in terms of your day job? For me, that was a big motivator initially with starting the property portfolio. I used to work for an accounting firm in Brisbane City, and I used to remember getting up around 7 a.m., which is not too bad, but I'd roll out of my bed, and we used to have an apartment right in front of a bus stop. And I used to be able to check the app on my phone, knowing that the bus was coming in 5 minutes, roll out of bed, grab dinner from the night before as lunch for the next day, get dressed, get cleaned up, and roll onto the bus basically. Commute into the city and be in the city by 7:45, and then starting work around 8 o'clock, 8:15 for a formal 8:30 start. And I used to do that 5 days a week, and then in the busy seasons, you'd be working 40, 50, 60-hour weeks in some periods, flying to Mackay, flying to Longreach, flying to Townsville, which was great. It was cool experiencing other locations, but I was getting paid $45,000 to $65,000 in those few years. And the reality is I wanted to escape that cycle. I wanted to escape someone being over me and telling me what I had to do, where I had to be, how I had to dress, how I had to present myself, formalize documents, talk to people. All those things felt very controlled in that audit and accounting environment. But without the accounting or the chartered accounting background, I wouldn't have been able to grow a property portfolio to the size that I now have today. And I wouldn't have been able to scale a business to be so successful without the patterns and formal driven qualifications that you get as a chartered accountant in the background. And so you might have experienced that. You might have not experienced that just for 3-4 years. You might have experienced that for decades. I know some people go through life and don't ever reach a point where they make a change in their day-to-day life. And that's the big reason for me that I want to invest in property, is to create more choices. And more important than that, not have it be 10 years away, 15 years away. Can we make some really critical decisions today that are going to change your life immediately or in the next 2-3 years, rather than waiting for that 5 or 10-year horizon? Now, you might want to sacrifice more in terms of savings or take on higher risks to grow the property portfolio faster. But let me break down for you how you can essentially create that lifestyle that you're probably wanting to achieve when you retire, but creating that lifestyle right now. And so for me, what that looks like is, once I'd built out a base portfolio of around $3 to $4 million, I could then change that lifestyle. I then had choices as to what I did for work, who I worked for. Of course, I wanted to earn similar wages, but I could have technically dropped, once Emily and I had bought 3 blue chip houses in Brisbane City and a unit block in Coffs Harbour. So we'd balanced growth properties with cash flow properties and built that base to around $3-4 million. Once we'd built that asset base, we really could have gone to work 3 days a week, because that would have covered our living and lifestyle expenses and any shortfall in the property portfolio. And then we could have just been patient. We could have just waited 5-10 years and sat on that property portfolio, made the lifestyle choices then immediately going to 3 days a week, or changing jobs to have a lower income but still enjoy the job more. And that's the reality for most of our clients in the buyer's agency. My portfolio being around that $10, $12, $13 million as things fluctuate, doing builds, selling properties and so forth. My property portfolio being around that $12 million mark is not realistic for everyday Australians. The everyday Aussie is likely to be able to buy between 1 to 4 properties, and ideally around that 3 range would be a great target for most Aussies. And if you can buy 3 houses around $800,000, that's going to give you a property portfolio around that $2.5, $2.4 million asset base. As that compounds over time, you can sell one of those properties and maybe add granny flats to the others, and that's how you create a $100,000 passive income, getting $25,000 for each of those dwellings. So 4 dwellings by $25,000 income is how you get that $100,000 passive income over time. The really cool thing is about the timelines. You want to make more choices now. You want to go on a holiday to Europe. Don't sacrifice forever. And nothing is more real to me than that after experiencing the loss of Emily and her passing from ovarian cancer in December 2024. It's been, 13 months since she passed. It feels like a lifetime ago. And I was so blessed to be her boyfriend, fiance, husband for a period of 11 years in total, and married for around 8.5 years. And we didn't regret making those decisions for our family to create more choices, to work harder, to sacrifice a bit more, and try and fast track this property portfolio journey to essentially create financial freedom sooner. But don't think you need to get to the levels of the guys you see on YouTube or podcasts or read about in books. Those guys, and I don't want to, throw myself in there as well, but those guys you see online or in books and podcasts are the outliers of success. And kudos to them. They're doing an amazing job. Anyone that reaches a sizable portfolio, $5 million plus, is significant. But don't think you need a $50 million, $100 million portfolio, or you need to have 10 houses to reach that financial freedom number. Be realistic, and also know that once you build and buy those assets, once you buy those assets in your property portfolio that you need, you can then start to make really different decisions in your day-to-day life. And to me, that's what choices and financial freedom is all about. That's where the hope lies in investing in property. It's not about being a greedy landlord and hoarding up 100 houses for yourself so that you have a $5 million passive income when you retire. For me, it's about being able to go on a holiday with my family, to take 8 weeks off a year, which is my goal. And as difficult as that might be in running a business and ownership, I want to prioritize those things. Because if I decide to take phone calls at 7 p.m. at night, and I'm not with my 2 young sons who are 3 and 2, then am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing by my family? My faith and my family need to come first, and creating that base level of financial freedom will allow you to do all those things and create all those choices. The abundance is cool for the Ferraris and the holidays and the amazing houses on the beachfront, but it's not a necessity. And love is so much more important than having another $1,000 or $1 million in your bank account. And again, I want to reiterate how blessed I was to be married to Emily and to have her be called my wife for 8-9 years. And so I want to encourage you. This video is to talk you through where my headspace has been at the start of 2026. The really cool thing is, once I've gone through, I've been thinking about this for 6-12 months, losing Emily, retiring or changing lifestyle. And once I've gone through this circle the last 12 months, I landed at a point that I love this business. I love Purpose Property. I love my team members, and I love helping people buy properties for the right price in the right location that meets their specific circumstances. And that's exactly what it is. It's tailored to the client situation. And what that means is we customize the approach to every single client. One client could be going that fast, renovate, add value, strata title, subdivide approach, and other clients might just want to buy a $600K Geelong bread and butter deal that's going to add into their portfolio and allow them to acquire one property every 2 to 3 years and grow that asset base slowly over time. It all needs to be customized to your circumstances, your situation, and your risk profile. And so I want to encourage you that if you're feeling demoralized in the market growth the last 5 years, the reality is that we are continuing to see Australia's population grow. And in the major cities where we focus, in Brisbane and Melbourne, that's where I personally see in the team, based on our data and experience, that's where we're seeing the greatest opportunity in the markets at the moment. And I bought 3 deals just 3 months ago in November 2025 to expand the property portfolio. $800,000 purchase in Southeast Queensland, a $900,000 purchase in North Melbourne, and a $600,000 purchase or $500,000 purchase in Geelong, in the Geelong region, which is a renovation project. And so I want to encourage you to take those next steps, have hope on the horizon, and work towards the financial freedom, and then make some great decisions in your life moving forward. If you want help in this journey and you're looking to buy in Brisbane or in Melbourne, in a 40-kilometre ring around those cities in the next 3 to 6 months, head over to purposeproperty.com.au and you'll book in a free 20-minute chat with myself, where I can talk you through what myself and the team do every single day in buying the right property for the right price in the right location, tailored exactly to what our clients are looking for. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below about hitting that retirement or quitting number, and what you would do differently at this point in time, if you could change something in your day-to-day life. Thanks for sticking around. Give this video a click right here because YouTube reckons that's the one you should watch next, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.